In this video, we will discuss important steps in writing code of the sample application using ScalarDB. While developing an application using ScalarDB, we need to perform following steps. Create a new project with IntelliJ. Add dependencies. And add a ScalarDB properties file. Now, create a project for the sample application in IntelliJ. Open IntelliJ to create new sample application project. Now click on New Project. Give project name as Point Service App. Also, add location to create project in your system. Let us select Gradle as the build system. Select JDK 17. Now, set Groovy as Gradle DSL. Let us open advanced settings to verify Gradle version. We will set the group ID. Then we will set artifact ID. Now click on Create to create a project. It will take some time to build project. Click on SDK to set Java 17. Now, we will add the necessary dependencies in the build.gradle file such as ScalarDB, SLF4J, Lombok, and Mockito. Finally, we will rename the main class to client. Now, click on Gradle to import newly added dependency. It will take some time to reflect changes. Now, let us create ScalarDB properties file. Now add all ScalarDB properties. We have seen all the details in our video configuring property file. Let us discuss how we will write code and check the approach in comparison with the layered architecture pattern. We will create a client application with the model class as the database layer, the repository class as the persistence layer, the service class as the business layer, and the presentation layer. We will also create a DTO class to pass data between the presentation layer and the business layer. This image shows all the classes defined in each layer of sample application. Now let us take a look at the final directory structure for this session. The classes for each layer we discussed earlier are grouped into their own packages. Let us create project directory structure. Click on the base package, which is scalar_holdings.travel.pointService, to create new sub-package. Give the name DTO to package. Similarly, create all packages such as exception package, model package, repository package, service package, and YTL package. Now, we will see how to create a model class for any table in your database. Let us create a point summary model class in the model package. Add namespace name as ns_mysql. Now add table name as point summary. Similarly, add all required fields. Now, define the model class variables, such as user ID. Similarly, add all other required variables. Now, add class annotations such as @data, @allargs constructor, @noarg constructor, @builder. Similarly, you can create model classes for point history, point active and point pending tables in sample application. Now we will see how create repository class for each model class created earlier. We will also create unit test for each model class. Let us create the point summary repository class in the repository package. Add an upsert method to create or update point summary data. Now add partition key. And build an upsert object. Execute the operation and return point summary object. Similarly, we will implement a get method to retrieve data from the database. Let us create a partition key and build a get object. Now, execute the operation and return the point summary object. Generate a repository test class for creating and summarizing test cases. A point summary repository instance is created, and a distributed transaction is mocked in the setup method. The create test checks a point summary object is inserted correctly. The get test ensures that the correct point summary object is retrieved result. Both test cases executed successfully. Similarly, create repository classes and their unit tests for point history, point active, point pending. Now create a service class for updating point summary and get summary. Create a class named as update point summary in YTL package. Add repositories and constructor to class. Now add a method named as expired old points. It processes active points and retrieves expired points. Now, create method named as calculate points expiring soon. It calculates and returns the remaining points. Now, create method named as calculate points to be earned. It returns total pending points. Now, create method named as move pending points to active points. Create a method named update summary to update point summary in the database. Create the get summary service class and service package. Add repositories and constructor to class. Now, add get summary method. This method retrieves and updates a point summary. Here, exceptions are handled. Similarly, you can create service classes for retrieving and using points. Finally, we will run a console application that calls the service class and its unit tests. Let us run the project. Open the terminal to execute command. Now run the gradle clean command /gradlu clean. Execute gradle run command /gradlu run. It compiles and executes the application. Execute the specified command for get summary method. It will take some time to execute the method. It returns summary DTO object as a result.